Well, I've got some explaining to do. So, I have recorded the dam and Guggentrez. And I basically overwrote the dam footage with the Guggentrez footage. So, we're gonna redo this now. and the 2 stages after it, too. What did we do before? Righteous is probably what I use for this. Unfortunately, too. Well, hold on. As I was saying, one thing that unfortunately got lost was that I will reference, I think, in the next recording session for the next stage, is when I was in this. Oh, also, Biff has been acquired. That's the intrigue of this level. When I was on that loading screen, I accidentally managed to bump my capture card and lose video signal. I caught it after like 20 seconds, but like, these loading screens have done horrible things to me recording this game. We've had all sorts of technical difficulties this whole time throughout this playthrough. It's crazy. But yes, so the idea, at least in part of the stage, is to save Biff. It's one of those cases where I really do wonder if you can get away with not saving Biff. I do know you have to... I don't entirely remember when certain things are introduced, which stage, so I don't remember which things you guys haven't seen so far. But... when you found Biff, yeah, do you have to do that particular mission to go through here? Normally I know that missions can be required to be completed before a particular cannon will open up. Maybe you also just can't go through this area without saving Biff. I haven't tried. I'm tempted to try go through this a little quickly. One thing I did not manage to do, though, in the last recording session, the last time I played through the stage, was... there we go. One thing I did not manage to do... Oh, come on now. I want to hit that sign. Actually, it's on here now, so... Wait. Okay. Well, bye sign. But yes, I didn't have time to try to do this whole level quickly. So, I'm gonna have to... What I'm kind of hoping is that I'll be able to go through this all more quickly this time. There you go. And then have extra time. I may manage to remember some things a bit better this time around. Just by virtue of having already gone through the stage once. I guess we'll see. But anyhow, I do apologize if I have fewer things to say about this place than I would most of the time, just by virtue of having been here before. Not too long ago, too. There you go. I am trying to get a bit more comfortable with some of the controls in this game, to varying degrees of success, ultimately. But I have definitely had difficulties with certain things in this game, particularly wall jumps and stuff like that. I think how far you jump off of a wall actually depends on things like... I think part of it might be how much speed you jumped into the wall with, into things like how quickly you jump off the wall, too, maybe? It's really hard to tell. But I think part of it might also be whether there's another wall close to the wall that you're jumping from. If you're right between two buildings, I think, yeah, let's see, like this, I jump pretty slowly. But right here, I jump really quickly. I think it's the distance between myself and the wall opposite me that's responsible for that. I'm still impressed by lots of Zit's missions to this day, because lots of them really are just, hey, move a few meters off in this direction, and that's it. The game just keeps doing that. Why not? Hold on, did the gradients get let out? I think it did. There we go, yeah. I want to make sure I don't miss these guys. Very well done. Just trying to just jump right over that. There. But my strategy these days, I think, is to usually start with the monument missions when we find them. Because monument missions are relevant to making enemies stop spawning and stuff like that, which here is not that big of a deal. But as it will become more of a pain in later stages. Yes, it's weird to me. The progression here is weird because there's stuff I now know from experience playing a level after this that is affecting how I play this stage. So consequently, some of the stuff I do here might be a bit more optimized for a stage after this one. But then you'll go back to seeing me play the next stage after this, and I will not have that knowledge anymore. This place is so big. Granted, it hasn't been so little time since I last played this stage that I remember it especially well. Like, I don't remember what the different missions are, for instance. What are the gradients? There. One thing I also found out was that this game, as we've seen, will show on your radar at a particular point. I'm not really sure what determines when this starts happening. At a certain point, the game will start showing you, hey, that traffic light's actually colored. The game will eventually start showing you where buildings you haven't painted are. I miss these guys. But the game does not seem to tell you about anything else. It will not tell you about, say, any billboards you've missed. I don't think it tells you about trees or anything like that either. So you still have to be really careful about missing stuff regardless, in spite of that particular thing. In spite of that particular feature. It would otherwise help. Which is a bit disconcerting. I did find that out the hard way the first time I played through this stage. Well, those pipes just stay gray no matter what. Let's deal with this. A jail? Just any jail? I feel like the border between the game going fairly easy on you and significantly less so is basically this stage. This one doesn't throw too much at you, but the next one is where enemies start getting really annoying and so on, and it actually starts being a pain having enemies on you. So that's when you start wanting to really... I don't like how many enemies are right next to me right now. You want to be really careful about doing stuff like what I just did, where I left myself with 0 paint points for a second there. Okay, I was not Oh god, you'll see me complain about this in a later episode. This game's lock-on is... Well, there goes an nunchuck on the floor. This game never locks onto what I think it's going to lock onto, like, ever. It throws me off constantly. I think there's some degree of prioritization that the game does. I'm going after this because all these Inkies here, they're getting spawned right now. They'll stop spawning once I take out this next monument. But yeah, there will be cases where you enter a new part of town or whatever, and yeah, you have a lot of enemies on you. They are a real pain to try to deal with. And the thing to do is to just immediately... Oh, shoot, hold on. Is to, as quickly as you can, find a monument mission and then perform it. But you might have to unlock that monument mission too, so you might have to go around doing missions for a little bit before you can start on the mission that gets rid of all the enemy spawners. Yeah, lots of prof here today. So the gate's unlocked. Have we found Biff though? I have not found Biff, so can I just go into the next area? So these guys will not respawn now, because Are you serious? Oh, my nunchuck stopped working, that's fine. Losing control of the character will do that. Oh, there goes the music. Okay, anyways. Jeez, calm down, sound effects. Anyway, let's... I feel like we're 0 for 2 on the whole Biff is definitely here thing, but anyways. Yes, though, so for something like this, it's wise to instead, at least if there are enemies around, or really just in general, do something more like, okay, I should probably get a bit more. Just not leave myself with too little. There we go, too little pain at any given moment. Just because there will be times where you have somebody on your tail the entire time. So far it's not that big of a deal, but you run into enemies that are so much more annoying starting next stage, basically. It says new challenge, but I don't think this actually is a challenger from Biff. Also, the game starts its habit here of introducing a new enemy type. Yeah, see, that wasn't a mission. Of introducing a new enemy type in a cutscene, and then in the next... And then in the stage that immediately follows that, you actually encounter that enemy. But everyone acts like it's the first time you've seen it. Cool, that's a trick you could probably use to break stuff. I'm curious if I could have skipped into the next area by doing that just now. Somehow I managed to cancel my my little hop upwards. This game has a really bad habit, I'm finding, of trying to put you on a predetermined path to jump on a particular thing or shooting at a can or something like that, and it getting interrupted by other stuff. The blimp, for instance, so many times I've gone shot out of the blimp, or shot out of a cannon, and ended up hitting the blimp that was flying around. It can be a real pain, honestly. Let's do this last monument here, for anything else, and then we're gonna have to go find Ardia on the left. Red, okay. You also don't have to lock... Whoop, didn't mean to press B there. You also don't actually have to lock onto these things and jump into them, it's just convenient. I love when I'm told to use a particular color, and then the thing that I paint does not turn that color at all. I'm curious if I'll manage to go through the stage more quickly or not, just by virtue of having gone through the stage before. Yeah, at least shouldn't have to bumble around too much, but it's still perfectly possible on this stuff and so on. I might be able to do some missions more quickly, I'm not really certain. I'm not gonna worry too much if I don't manage to get that blimp up top, to be perfectly honest. Oh yeah, this one was kind of an odd one. Get up there. You didn't jump. Yeah, see there. Sometimes you just have to like really force yourself up a corner like that. It's very awkward. Okay. Blue. Yeah, I know the blue's over here. Not really. Reactivate, please. Come on. They don't take too long, usually. Yeah, they may not be able to respawn when you're standing on them. Where are the blue ones? Where are the blue ones? Hold on. Where are the ones I need to make blue? Ah! Okay, I'll go for the green ones first, then. The other ones. Oh, I did not need to make myself. Darn it. There we go. I realized it went all the way back here because I had already gone almost all of them. Jeez. Okay. That's pretty much everything over here. Nice, got some buildings. The whole section over here I haven't done. Whoops. I am curious if you can skip gates in this game and whatnot, though, since I seem to have the opportunity to do that when I got a whole bunch of extra air. I haven't looked into speedruns of this game or anything. One does wonder. Probably should at some point. I'm curious what kinds of technique people use for movements in this game in high-level play. Very blue today. Okay. Game really wants me to be red now, jeez. Okay. Well, there's at least no other mission in here, it looks like. Where's the... There it is. Again, I'm not gonna worry too much about the blimp since I've already gone, really speaking. I don't think it's particularly crazy for viewers to get to see me touch the blimp. So if I don't do it, I don't do it. If I do get it, it's fine, I'll do it. But, also, strictly speaking, if we run into issues with trying to get everything that's level 100%, maybe I'll drop that too, but I'll try to do it otherwise. I'll try to mostly play through this like a normal episode. That thing in the back is jittering like crazy. But for the most part, if I do find some issue like, whoops, I can't find a particular important thing in this level, I may just not worry about it. Just try to save some time and hopefully manage this sitting to go through and do a speedrun of this level or the previous, or I guess I can't do a speedrun of the next one because I haven't done the regular playthrough of that yet that you guys have seen. I've done it, but you haven't seen it. I think my plan is to put this up before the episode where I do the level after this one, so you still see that levels in order at least as a viewer. Anytime I see a billboard, I should go for it immediately, just because the game will not tell me in the future where it is if I miss it. There you go. I don't know how that thing just gets colored in the background. I don't know if it's just linked to one of these random buildings or what. There you go. Also, these little bits in the middle get painted. There you go. I think we got everything over here. I'm just gonna hope so. It's not clear in this game which things you have to paint for them to get counted as, you know, counted for completion. Because there are definitely things in this game that you don't need to paint. I don't think rocks, for instance, are required painting, although like they don't count as buildings on their own, I don't think, although you sometimes have to paint them in order to transitively, indirectly paint trees that are on them. Oh yeah, now big paint pots. For some reason these are suddenly like super common as of this part of the level. You'll see tons of them in the next stage too. There's a billboard, need to get that. There you go. You especially don't want to paint everything around a billboard without painting a billboard. That's a problem, especially if you manage to do that. Like this billboard here, I should do this immediately. Also not miss the gradients down here. The game calls them gradients. I tend to call them gradients just because I'm specifically referring to the ones that I need to paint. Because they're locked up. Oh, hold on, I need to get this thing. Come on, there we go. You can fight a lot more than you might think to get up a ledge. Oh, are you serious? Let me down there! Game. I can't reach it from here. There we go. I have not done my usual, oh hey, let's go for all the monuments first thing. I guess that's not that big of a deal. May as well get this now. 2 different buildings. This one up here is the green one, right? It's kind of a weird climbing up the wall thing there. I remember doing this one here and thinking, wait a minute, I don't think it's really safe for me to get dropped down when I get dropped down after this. But actually no, you get kicked out in front of the hot pads. And that's actually how you destroy the hot pads for that matter. Okay. I don't remember if this is something I discovered in this stage or something like that, but also if you're trying to climb if you're trying to jump up on top of something, jumping straight up like this while next to it tends to get you the most height instead of jumping into the wall. I should probably try to get a good deal of paint here before I go to the next area. Because I will need it. Stock up a little bit, and also get the tree that I missed. Because you will find that we actually need this paint. Ta-da! Tanks. They're not that big or anything, but I guess they're kind of tank size after all. Also keeping in mind that Blob himself is pretty huge. And these paint pots are actually pretty massive compared to the radians. Fire ink at you, like a lot of things do. It's just that, yeah, attacking them costs 100 points, which means it leaves you vulnerable to attack them. That's the main thing. you need to build up to attack them to start with, and then once you do, it leaves you vulnerable. Alright, well, we should end off the episode here in a second. I forgot you don't actually have to spend paint on the radios. And we've already unlocked the exit. You have to paint so little in this game to actually complete a stage. It's very strange to me. They don't make you do more. Where are you guys? Where are they? Are they like back out? Just trying to liberate a bunch of gradients. Where are they? Jeez. Okay, all the way down here. Okay. But we can finish off this episode with greening up this place. Oh yeah, it just leaves you in the water for some reason. Kind of mean. Alright, so next time we'll continue this little area. We've made good progress in the stage already. Hopefully we'll manage to do this in like 2 episodes or maybe a little bit more. I don't know. The end part of this stage kind of drags for a while. We'll see. Bye everyone.